Hello, everyone. In episode 1, we went through such intense moments when a sudden gust nearly toppled my hut. But in episode 2, our fight isn't over yet. Strengthening and reinforcing the temporary hut became our top priority. Luckily, once I got started, I realized the 2 front corners didn't need extra support posts. That saved a lot of effort. On one side, I used a large chinaberry tree as a solid anchor point. But what touched me most was discovering a grapefruit tree right next to the hut. I quickly tied the hut to that tree for extra stability. As I worked, I couldn't help but breathe out in relief. Thank goodness this grapefruit tree is here. Now I don't need to put up another post. Tying it here will hold just fine. After a while of hard, sweaty work, the hut finally felt secure. For the first time, my child and I could breathe a little easier, no longer afraid it would collapse at any moment. That moment brought both happiness and relief, like a renewed strength to keep pushing forward in this difficult fight for survival. Dear friends, if you find this video meaningful, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to the channel so you can continue to follow along with us in the next episodes. After securing the hut, I invited Nam to sit down and poured him a cup of water to rest for a bit. In that quiet moment, after all the chaos, I finally had the chance to ask, "Don't you have work at the office today?" He gave a small smile, then calmly revealed something I never expected. It turns out earlier that morning, while watching the news, he saw a report about a major storm moving in. Concern immediately filled his heart, and he couldn't stop thinking about me alone in the forest, with only a fragile little hut. He told me, sitting at the office, "I just couldn't feel at ease, knowing you and your child were out here like this. At home, I just couldn't sit still, knowing you were out here like this. I wasn't at peace, so I decided to leave the office work behind. You can handle things there. I had to come in right away to help you reinforce this hut, otherwise I'd never feel at ease." Hearing those words, my nose stung and my chest tightened with emotion. While everyone else was busy with their own affairs, he chose to think of me to worry about my safety in this remote forest. It wasn't just a simple gesture, it was proof of true camaraderie of a brotherhood built on trust and loyalty. That quiet sacrifice born from genuine kindness and care moved me deeply and filled me with admiration. In the middle of nature's storm, it was Nam's heart that lit a fire inside me, giving me the strength to keep standing tall. As the rain slowly eased, weak rays of sunlight began slipping through the treetops, shining down on the waterlogged yard. The air felt calmer after such a violent storm. I thought that after all the exhausting work since morning, Nam would finally allow himself a moment of rest. But no, he refused to sit still. He turned to me, his voice urgent, yet full of care. "It's getting late already. Let me help you finish building the bathroom now, or else it won't get done in time." His words caught me off guard. I knew he was tired, yet he still wanted to make sure my child and I had a proper place to bathe and live more comfortably. Before I could even protest, he had already jumped into action. I had split and stacked a pile of bamboo slats earlier, and he quickly grabbed them to start putting up the walls. The sound of bamboo scraping together the sharp crack of the knife-splitting stalks, it all echoed through the damp air after the rain. Nam moved with determination, measuring, tying, adjusting, weaving piece by piece. The walls began to take shape under his steady, skilled hands. Watching him bend over, sweat beading again on his forehead. Despite the cooler air, I couldn't help but feel both compassion and admiration. Sometimes he would say to me, "Go on, give little Zoe some milk. I'll finish this up." I looked at my baby, squirming in my arms, hearing the hungry little grumbles from his stomach, and my heart warmed. Nam wasn't just thinking about me. He was thinking about my child too, caring about every little detail. Quietly, I carried my son inside, leaving Nam outside fully absorbed in his work. Through the crack in the door, I could still see his silhouette steadily working on each wall panel, each bamboo strip. In the fresh sunlight, his figure seemed to blend into the color of the new bamboo, simple yet glowing. In that moment, I realized what he was building wasn't just a makeshift bathroom. It was love, quiet sacrifice, and a way of showing the genuine care he had for me and my child. And because of that, I felt truly lucky to have his support and protection in this life. But the sky, once clear, after the rain quickly darkened again, the wind picked up hard warning of another storm about to hit. While I was tidying up, Nam gently suggested I go ahead and cook some rice. A small worry tugged at me. There wasn't much food in the house, just a few odds and ends. I hesitantly invited him to stay for the meal, feeling both grateful and embarrassed. Nam looked around, and it was as if he understood my hesitation without me saying a word. He simply smiled, then took his motorbike and rode off into the gusting wind, the sound of the engine fading into the drizzle. I stood there watching him go, my heart unsettled, torn between guilt and deep admiration for his thoughtfulness. Out here where life is tough and the market is far away going out in weather, like that isn't easy at all. Yet not long after Nam returned, his figure appeared at the top of the hill, carrying things I never would have expected. He came back with a fresh chicken and a big ripe watermelon. In this remote mountain place that felt like a feast, something almost impossible to imagine. His face lit up his shirt, still covered in dust from the road. I was both surprised and touched. Nam set down the chicken and watermelon, his cheerful voice filling the space as he suggested we prepare a proper meal. To him, it might have just been a simple gesture, a natural way of caring. But to me, it meant so much more. It wasn't just dinner. It was sharing. It was kindness. It was a quiet sacrifice that warmed my heart deeply. In the damp, chilly air of the mountains, the smell of roasted chicken and the sweetness of fresh watermelon didn't just fill our stomachs. They filled my soul with happiness. I realized that some moments, though, small, stay with you forever. And that meal was one of those moments. We started a fire to roast the chicken. Smoke curled thick into the air, carrying the sharp scent of burning bamboo, while the heat spread through the little shelter. The wind swept in through the mountain pass, making the flames flicker wildly. Nam quickly set up a shield to steady the fire, then patiently turned the chicken so it browned evenly. I sat beside him, helping where I could, listening to the crackle of the firewood and feeling a sudden deep sense of peace. As we roasted the chicken, we talked about little things, everyday stuff. But somehow, those simple conversations made the space feel even warmer. Every now and then, Nam would look up, smiling. "Smells good, doesn't it? I think it's almost done." He was right. The aroma of roasted chicken filled the whole hut. Finally, the moment came. The chicken was golden brown, the skin crisp and shiny, the meat inside perfectly tender. I couldn't help but marvel at it. And the best part, Zoe woke up just as the chicken finished roasting. I quickly cut open the watermelon Nam had carried all the way from the market. Its bright red flesh glistened fresh and juicy, the sweet scent filling the air and washing away the day's exhaustion. Zoai's eyes lit up, and he laughed as he ate piece after piece, watermelon juice dripping down his chin, looking absolutely adorable. When Nam picked up the chicken to serve, steam rose in thick waves, the smoky aroma making my stomach growl even louder. The chicken was hot, tender, and flavorful. Eating it fresh off the fire gave it a taste I'll never forget. Without hesitation, Nam handed me the first drumstick. That simple gesture warmed my heart more than any words could. Little Zoai, still full, from his milk, happily munched on watermelon instead. But that simple meal became an unforgettable memory. In the middle of the wild mountains, after days of battling storms, we sat together sharing the best food we had, enjoying the purest kind of happiness. It wasn't just dinner, it was a bond, a moment of kindness and connection in the middle of hardship. Even now, whenever I think back on it, my heart still swells with emotion.
thêm bao nhiêu động lực